welcome YouTube friends. Today I'm going to show you how I make cookie dough truffles. If you're new here, hi, my name is Meredith. I do all kinds of unboxings, beauty, lifestyle, and fashion. I also do grocery hauls and shopping hauls and a little bit of everything else. So if that sounds like a good time, definitely hit the red subscribe button down below and we can hang out more often. Of course, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And now let's talk about the fact that this is also a collab video with my friend Alex over at Life of a City Girl. And this goofball is my daughter, who is almost 3. So my friend Alex is going to be making some cookies over on her channel. So when you finish watching this one, be sure to head over there and check her channel out, give her a thumbs up, and definitely tell her that I sent you in the comments. Wish her a happy holidays, and let's go ahead and start making these truffles because, oh my goodness, they are delicious. P.S. I'm making a double batch because they're just that good and they freeze well. All right, let's get going on those truffles. Got my KitchenAid mixer ready to go, and I have it with my paddle attachment. I love that it has this rubber scraper side on it. This one didn't come with my mixer, but if you don't have one, I highly recommend it. I'll link to one below if you're interested. We're going to go ahead and add 2 sticks of butter, also known as 1 cup. Now, again, I'm doubling the recipe, so you would be using just a half a cup of butter. So we're going to put both sticks in the mixer. And we're going to add in brown sugar. And the recipe calls for 3/4 of a cup. We're going to go ahead and beat this, and we're going to cream the butter and sugar together, starting on low, and I'll work my way up as it goes. So I have beaten it until it has come together in a nice, light, creamy consistency. So now we're going to go ahead and add in our vanilla. The recipe calls for 1 teaspoon per batch. I'm going to go ahead and whisk this just a little bit more. Next, we're going to gradually beat in our 2 cups of flour per recipe. So I'm just going to add it a little bit at a time. And then after that, we're going to add sweetened condensed milk. It is a good idea to keep your mixer on low during this step, or you're going to get a face full of flour. And now I'm going to add in the sweetened condensed milk, a little bit at a time. I did scrape down the sides just once so far, because I do find that even with that paddle attachment that has the rubber side, I do tend to have to do it at least once anytime I bake, but it saves a lot of scraping in the end. So I'm just going to keep adding this and add the second can for that second batch. Now I have a little budget-friendly tip for you. So this recipe calls for 1 cup of finely chopped pecans, and the Target Good and Gather brand has these pecan chips, so they're just little broken pieces of pecans. This will actually save you quite a bit of money if you buy them this way as opposed to whole and then cut them up yourself. So you can save sometimes even $1 a bag. It really depends on where you're buying them from, but I'm going to go ahead and use these, and to be honest, I'm going to chop these up a little bit more because even though these pieces are quite small, I really want the pecan flavor to disperse well throughout the cookie dough. We are going to go ahead and slide in our chopped pecans. Now, having chopped all these by hand, I think would actually be so much easier if you try pulsing it in the food processor. So maybe try that one if you have a food processor. I think it'll save you a lot of time, and if you have carpal tunnel or arthritis, you might be really glad you chose that route. And then the last thing that we're going to go ahead and add is a bunch of mini chocolate chips. This calls for half a cup, but again, I'm doubling, so. And I like the mini chocolate chips, and if there are any left over, I like to put them in my banana bread for nice, even distribution of chocolate in the banana bread. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and mix this up a little bit more. My poor mixer is working hard, and it is definitely full. So, you know, maybe a single batch would be a better idea. I've never made a double batch, but since I'm going to be delivering some of these to friends and neighbors, I've decided to try and get it all done in just 1 batch. All right, so bite for you guys. Ready? So what could possibly be better than edible cookie dough that you can refrigerate? Dip it in chocolate, of course. So that's what we're going to do after we scoop them into nice little balls. Now we're going to go ahead and scoop out the balls of dough using a small cookie scoop. And I'm just going to put them onto this baking tray that is already lined with parchment paper. You're going to want that because we're going to chill these and then dip them in chocolate. And so they'll just come off so much easier after that melted chocolate has hardened on the outside. So I'm just going to scoop these as close together as I can until I run out of dough or room on my tray. And then I'm going to refrigerate them for at least half an hour to make them easier to dip into the chocolate. You could absolutely do this part with a spoon and clean hands if you don't have a small cookie scoop. It works just as well that way. Aren't those beautiful? This tray is ready to go. My balls of cookie dough have had some time to chill in the fridge, probably about an hour because we had dinner in between these clips. And so now I'm going to go ahead and dip it in chocolate. Target sells these Baker's dipping chocolates in a cup. These are super handy because all the mess is contained right in here. You just microwave it in 30-second intervals and you're good to go. So all I'm going to do now is take each ball of cookie dough and I'm just going to lightly dip them in. Let all the extra drip off. And then once I'm done, I will set them right back on the tray to let the chocolate harden up, and that's it. Then you can freeze them, you can binge eat them while watching Netflix, you can deliver them to your neighbors with a lovely Christmas card, whatever you feel like doing. One thing I will say is that if you like a lot of chocolate, you might want to get 2 of these chocolate dipping cups, or of course you can always make your own homemade ganache. So I'm going to go ahead and keep working on these, and I'll see you back here in a minute. I will have the recipe linked in the description box below. So for a little variety, I like to dip some and then drizzle on some of the other ones because I think putting the 2 different ones in a box can look a little bit more festive and fun, and don't mind the toddler running around my house like a crazy person. When I pack them up for friends, I like to grab a pair of tongs. I take a container and I actually put little cupcake papers in there because I feel like it just gives a little something extra, and then I just pack them up. All right, and that is what they look like all packaged up, so I can deliver them to my neighbors. All right, so thank you guys so much for watching. Carl, tell them what to do.
Subscribe, hit the bell, and like.
Thank you guys so much for watching. You know we'll be talking to you soon. Bye. Happy holidays.